City Council to order at 8 o'clock on Monday, November 7th, 2022. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. This evening we have 17 items on the agenda, and I will ask the clerk to please read agenda item number 1.
Minutes of the City Council meeting on October 17th, 2022.
Councilor Dumas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to accept and place on file.
Motion is made and seconded to accept and place on file the minutes. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The minutes are filed 9-0. Agenda item number 2.
Communication from the Mayor regarding grant acceptance in the amount of $2 million from the Executive Office of Housing and Economic Development, the Department of Housing and Community Development, and the Massachusetts Development Finance Agency through the fiscal year 23 Community One Stop for Growth program awarded to the Department of Public Works to be used to reconstruct a 1-mile section of Cedar Hill Street.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to approve the grant, please.
Motion made and seconded to approve the grant. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The grant is approved 9-0. Agenda item number 3.
Communication from the Mayor regarding grant acceptance in the amount of $250,000 from the Mass Development's Taxi and Livery Partnership Program awarded to the Marlborough Economic Development Corporation to be used to continue funding of the commuter shuttle service.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to approve the grant, please.
Motion is made and seconded to approve the grant. Any discussion on the motion? Councilor Oram.
Thank you, Mr. President. Within the letter from the Mayor, it was good to see that ridership has steadily increased as it was written and is stronger than pre-COVID days. So it's good to see that it's increasing with ridership. Thank you.
No, thank you, Councilor Oram. Again, it's becoming more popular. This Council on Aging gets to use it in between hours, so it's working out well, so this funding gets us through another year. Any other comments on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the grant? Opposed? It is approved 9-0. Agenda item number 4.
Communication from the Mayor regarding a transfer request in the amount of $1,574.75, which moves funds from the firefighter account to the meal allowance account to cover a deficit due to numerous emergency situations.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. The funds are available in this account. My motion would be to approve the transfer in the amount of $1,574.75 from the firefighters account to the meals allowance account, please.
Motion made and seconded to approve the transfer to replenish the firefighter meals account. Any discussion on the motion? Councilor Oram.
Thank you. Just another note that the fire chief had indicated, due to the woodland fires we had, a couple of them, as well as the hazardous materials incident, that's why the meals have increased. It's not because they're eating more, it's because they've been out fighting fires and handling hazardous waste issues. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Oram. Any other discussion on the motion? All those in favor of the transfer? Opposed? Transfer is approved 9-0. Agenda item number 5.
Communication from the Mayor regarding a proposed order and easement from the First Baptist Church granting the City of Marlborough access for necessary electric equipment and other site structures for the renovation project at the Public Library at 35 West Main Street.
Councilor Perlman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to thank the First Baptist Church for allowing us to have this easement, and I'd like to approve this, so move to approve the easement.
Motion made and seconded to approve the easement. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The easement is approved 9-0. Agenda item number 6.
Communication from City Solicitor Jason Grossfield on behalf of Councilor Roby regarding proposed amendment to Chapter 650 zoning relative to certain provisions concerning mixed use and affordable housing.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. As I've sat on the council and been part of discussion of mixed use and multifamily housing, several issues have come up, at least in my opinion, one of them being the number of affordable units and the sense of the council when we approved it that mixed use would have non-residential on the bottom floor, and that does not seem to be happening. So I made I had a meeting with President Ossing and the city solicitor. We sort of trimmed down my wish list to 2 items, which is on your agenda tonight. So I'm going to move to refer this to The Urban Affairs Committee refer to the Planning Board, set a public hearing for December 19th, and to advertise.
Motion made and seconded to refer to the Urban Affairs Committee, set a public hearing for December 19th, to advertise and to send to the Planning Board. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? That is approved, 9-0. Agenda item number 7.
Communication from City Solicitor Jason Grossfield regarding proposed salary ordinance and job description for the Substance Use Prevention Coordinator and Intervention Specialist within the Health Department in proper legal form, order number 22-100-8678.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to accept and place on file the communication and move down to agenda number item 17.
Motion to move this item down to agenda item number 17 and file the solicitor's communication. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is filed and moved to agenda item 17, 9-0. Agenda item number 8.
Communication from Assistant City Solicitor Jeremy McManus regarding application for modification of special permit from Attorney Brian Falk on behalf of VD Naturals LLC, DBA Costa Dispensary, to amend Condition 8 relative to the hours of operation for the adult use retail establishment located at 505 Boston Post Road West in proper legal form, order number 1922-100-7881.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to move to accept and place on file the communication and move the document to item number 16 on the agenda.
Motion made and seconded, accept and place on file the solicitor's communication and to move the item down to agenda item number 16. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is approved to file and move to agenda item 16, 9-0. Agenda item number 9.
Communication from Assistant City Solicitor Jeremy McManus regarding application for modification of special permit from Attorney Brian Falk on behalf of Aubuchon Realty Company, Inc., to allow for a standalone Chipotle restaurant with a drive-through and eliminate the proposed bank and retail addition to the plaza located at 661 Boston Post Road East in proper legal form, order number 2122-100-8395.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to move to accept and place on file the communication and move number 9 to reports.
Motion made and seconded to accept and file the solicitor's communication and move this down to the reports of committee section of our agenda. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is filed and moved down to the reports section of the agenda, 9-0. Agenda item number 10.
Communication from Assistant City Solicitor Jeremy McManus regarding the application for modification of site plan approval from Aubuchon Realty Company, Inc., related to the retail plaza within the Wayside District at 661 Boston Post Road East in proper legal form, order number 2122-8418.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to accept and place on file the communication and refer the information to reports.
Motion is made and seconded to accept and place on file the communication from the solicitor and move this item to the reports of committee section of our agenda. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is filed and moved to reports of committee, 9-0. Agenda item number 11.
Petition of Verizon New England to lay and maintain underground conduits with wires and cables to be placed therein under the public way on DeSimone Drive.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to refer to Public Service Committee and set a public hearing for November 21st, 2022, please.
Motion made and seconded to refer this item to the Public Services Committee and set a public hearing for November 21st. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is approved to go to public service and set a public hearing for November 21st, 9-0. Agenda item number 12.
Application for special permit from Markel Frink and Davino Oliveira on behalf of All for Love to operate a dog grooming business to be located at 75 Lincoln Street.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to refer this to Urban Affairs and set a public hearing date for December 5th and advertise.
Motion made and seconded to refer to Urban Affairs, set a public hearing for December 5th and to advertise. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is going to Urban Affairs with a public hearing for December 5th and advertise, 9-0. Agenda item 13.
Application for a signed special permit from Attorney Brian Falk on behalf of Wayside Crossing for a proposed EMC sign that will serve as an ordering board for the Starbucks drive-through at 661 Boston Post Road East. In addition, pursuant to Chapter 650, Section 37I-1A of the Code, a master sign plan for the Wayside Crossing Plaza at 661 Boston Post Road East.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to take this in 2 steps. First, I'm going to move to accept and place on file the master sign plan for the Wayside Crossing Plaza.
Motion made and second to accept and place on file the master sign plan for 661 Boston Post Road East. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The master sign plan is filed 9-0. Councilor Roby.
Thank you. And then if there's no objection from my committee members, I'm not going to refer this to Urban Affairs, but we do need to set a public hearing for the sign ordinance. So I would move to have the public hearing on 11/21, November 21st, and to advertise. If there's no issues that night, then we can just go ahead and vote this and let it proceed and let them finish up their plaza.
So the motion is to leave this in the city council's hands, set a public hearing for November 21st, and to advertise. That motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is in the city council's hand for the next agenda. We have a public hearing for November 21st, and we will advertise that public hearing, 9-0. Agenda item 14.
Minutes of boards, commissions, and committees.
Councilor Perlman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to accept and place on file the minutes.
Motion's made and seconded, accept and place on file the minutes. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The minutes are filed, 9-0. Agenda item 15.
Claims.
Councilor Perlman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to send the claims to the legal department.
Motion made and seconded to refer the claims to the legal department. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Claims are going to legal, 9-0. Reports of committees. Who wants? Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Public Service Committee met on October 26, 2022, convened at 7 p.m. We had 3 items that evening on the agenda. First one was order number 22-100-8711, application for renewal of license to operate livery service with 1 vehicle by Edward Zulidev, DBA Easy Airport Limo Services at 15 Indian Lane. Applicant confirmed the business will operate with only one vehicle. There have been no issues regarding parking. Ward 2 Councilor Doucette stated for the record that he has not received any complaints regarding the operations for this business. On a motion by Councilor R, seconded by the chair, the committee voted to recommend approval of the renewal of the license to operate a livery service with 1 vehicle to Edward Zulidev, DBA Easy Airport Limo Services at 15 Indian Lane. The vote carried 2-0. Second item was order number 22-100-8669, application for renewal of junk dealer secondhand dealer license by Best Buy Store LP number 820, 769 Donald J. Lynch Boulevard. Council Irish read the following report from Best Buy dated October 26, 2022 into the record. The trade-in program is going really well and is super beneficial to the store, company, and the city, not just for the value of gift card amount, but from customers. But the store runs trade-in promos where you switch out old printers and get 10 to 15% off a new printer. The program encourages customers to continue to expand their knowledge with the evolution of technology and how it impacts areas of their homes. Clients have traded in old products by they no longer see a value in to afford things that they now may need. On a motion by Councilor R, seconded by the chair, the committee voted to recommend approval of the renewal of the junk dealer secondhand dealer license to Best Buy at 769 Donald J. Lynch Boulevard. The vote carried 2-0. Last item on the agenda that evening was order number 22-100-8587, application for tax delivery license from Nathan Zabulaba, DBA Indelible Home Care Incorporated, to operate a livery service with 1 vehicle at 97 Neal Street. Applicant confirmed he has a garage and space in the driveway. He will operate only 1 vehicle and will always be parked off the street, in the garage, or in the driveway. On a motion by Councilor R, seconded by the chair, the committee voted to recommend approval of the application for taxi livery license for Nathan Zabulaba, DBA Indelible Home Care Incorporated to operate a livery service with one vehicle at 97 Neal Street. The vote carried 2-0. The meeting adjourned at 7:12 p.m., and that is the end of my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Irish.
Thank you.
Any other reports of committees? Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. The City Council Urban Affairs Committee met on October 26th. We had one item, order number 2122-108-395F, referencing 21-108-418C, an application for modification of a special permit and site plan from Attorney Falk on behalf of Aubuchon Realty Company Incorporated to allow for a standalone Chipotle restaurant with a drive-through facility and to eliminate the proposed bank and retail addition to the plaza located at 661 Boston Post Road East. That pretty much sums up what we took up. The original special permit was approved on November 8th to build and operate a drive-through facility for a bank, a drive-through facility for a coffee shop, and a walk-up window for a coffee shop. So the amendment replaces the approved drive-through bank with the drive-through restaurant. There would be no order board on site. Orders would be picked up at the drive-through, ordered via phone, or customers could park and go inside. Councilor Doucette moved to approve the decision on the amendment to the special permit. Motion was seconded and approved 5-0. We then took up the amended site plan approval. As this project is in the Wayside District, City Council is the site plan authority. It was reviewed by the Site Plan Review Committee, who had added a couple of conditions. Number one, that a temporary certificate of occupancy may be issued for either the new coffee shop structure or the new restaurant structure, while site work required for the special permit remains incomplete, subject to a phasing plan approved by the Site Plan Committee. And number two, that all of the conditions of the original site plan continue in full force and effect. Councilor Doucette moved to approve the amended site plan with conditions. The motion was seconded and approved 5-0. I did ask if there was any issue with the committee, and obviously we had on our agenda tonight the letter from the solicitor. Everything is in proper form. So I would like to move to suspend the rules to be able to vote on this evening and take up the items that were referred to reports.
Been a motion made and seconded to suspend the rules to take up the site plan approval at 661 Boston Post Road East and the special permit modification for 661 Boston Post Road East. All those in favor of the suspension?
One second, point of order, Mr. President.
Councilor Oram.
Thank you. I just questioned on November 8th. I don't know if the chair might want to update us on that. I know we wanted November 8th on our presentation as well, but I think that was a different date probably. That's tomorrow.
I guess I'm
with the original special permit.
last year, November 8th.
Was it last year or this year?
I thought it was.
I guess it's one of those none of us caught. But we will correct whatever the date is. I'll go back and look through my records that I don't have with me, but thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I believe it's 2021.
I know it's been floating around for a long time, so it's possible it was.
Hang on, I'll tell you in a second here.
The order number starts with a 21, so I'd assume it would be 21.
Might have been November 8th. Special permit for 2 drive-throughs. This was November 8th, 2021. Yep, I just got to the right date. So you're correct, Councilor Oram. 22 should be 21. Was when the original permit was approved.
Thank you.
All those in favor of suspending the rules? Opposed? Rules are suspended 9-0. Councilor Roby.
All right, so we have to go back to agenda item number 9. I'm going to move to accept or move to approve the special permit modification for Aubuchon Realty, and I think we need to read the conditions.
Correct. So the motion's been made and seconded to approve the modified special permit. Any discussion? I will ask the clerk to read the conditions.
City Council, pursuant to its authority under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 40A, and the zoning ordinance of the City of Marlborough, hereby grants the applicant an amendment to an existing special permit to build and operate a drive-through facility for a restaurant, a drive-through facility for a coffee shop restaurant, and a walk-up window for a coffee shop restaurant, and to modify a pre-existing non-conforming use as a dry cleaner by adding said uses at 661 Boston Post Road East as shown on the plans filed, subject to the following conditions, which conditions shall be binding on the applicant, its successors, and/or assigns. 1, remote ordering. The drive-through facility for the restaurant shall not have an ordering menu, and customers using the drive-through facility for the restaurant shall be required to place orders in advance remotely and use the drive-through facility only to pick up orders. This condition shall not apply to the previously approved coffee shop restaurant at the site. 2, signs. The applicant shall install wayfinding signs within the site to alert customers using the drive-through facility for the restaurant that orders must be placed in advance, remotely, and that the drive-through facility may only be used to pick up orders. This condition shall not apply to the previously approved coffee shop restaurant at the site. 3, traffic circulation. The city's site plan committee may require modifications to the site's internal traffic circulation design if it is determined by the police chief that said design causes an excessive number of vehicular or pedestrian accidents. 4, trash removal. The applicant shall ensure that any trash removal from the site takes place between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. and at times that do not conflict with peak customer activity. 5, prior conditions. Except as modified by this decision, all conditions of the original special permit shall continue in full force and effect and are incorporated by reference as part of this decision. 6, recording of decision. In accordance with the provisions of Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 48, Section 11, the applicant, its successors, and/or assigns at its expense shall record this special permit in the Middlesex South Registry of Deeds after the city clerk has certified that the 20-day period for appealing this special permit has elapsed and no appeal having been filed, and before the applicant has applied to the building commissioner for a building permit. Upon recording, the applicant shall forthwith provide a copy of the recorded special permit to the city council office, the building department, and the city solicitor's office.
Thank you, Mr. Kerrigan. You heard the conditions. Is there any additional discussion on the conditions for the revised special permit for 661 Boston Post Road East? If not, I will ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Councilor Roby.
Yes.
Councilor Perlman.
Yes.
Councilor Ossing.
Yes.
Councilor Landers is absent. Councilor Oram.
Yes.
Councilor Irish.
Yes.
Councilor Dumas.
Yes.
Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Councilor Doucette is absent. Councilor Wagner.
Yes.
Councilor Navin.
Yes.
9 yeas, sir, 2 absent.
The special permit is approved by a vote of 9 in favor, none opposed, 2 not present. So the special permit, the revised special permit is approved 9-0. Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. So now we will take up item number 10, and I'm going to move the recommendation of the committee to approve the modification for the site plan approval.
Motion made and seconded to approve the site plan for 661 Boston Post Road East. Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion on the motion to approve the site plan? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Site plan is approved 9-0. Are there any other reports of committee? Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a public service announcement. Public Service Committee will be meeting on November 14th, 2022 at 6:15 p.m. Also, the Finance Committee will be meeting on November 14th, 2022 at 7 p.m. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thanks, Councilor Irish.
Personnel will be meeting that night as well.
And personnel will be meeting on November 14th as well. They're meeting at 6.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, any other reports of committees? If not, agenda item 16.
Order number 1922-107-881, application for modification of a special permit from Attorney Brian Falk on behalf of VD Naturals LLC, DBA Cosa Dispensary, to amend condition number 8 relative to the hours of operation for the adult use retail establishment located at 505 Boston Post Road West. Recommendation of the Urban Affairs Committee is to approve as amended.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. So this is item number 8 on our agenda. I'm going to move the recommendation of committee to approve.
The motion's been made and seconded to move the recommendation of the committee, which is to approve the modification to the special permit, which is the hours to the VD Naturals / COSA facility on the west side of town. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I will ask the clerk to read the conditions, please.
The City Council, pursuant to its authority under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 48, and the zoning ordinance of the City of Marlborough, hereby grants the applicant an amendment to modify condition number 8 of the original special permit as follows. 1, by deleting condition number 8 in its entirety and inserting in place the following. Number 8, hours. The maximum hours of operation of the use shall be Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. All other conditions of the original special permit shall continue in full force and effect and are incorporated by reference as part of this decision. And in accordance with the provisions of Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 48, Section 11, the applicant, its successors, and/or signs, at his expense, shall record this special permit in the Middlesex South Registry of Deeds after the city clerk has certified that the 20-day period for appealing the special permit has elapsed with no appeal having been filed, and before the applicant has applied to the building commissioner for a building permit. Upon recording, the applicant shall forthwith provide a copy of the recorded special permit to the city council office, the building department, and the city solicitor's office.
Any discussion after hearing the conditions? Seeing none, so on the motion to approve the revised special permit, this will be a roll call vote. Mr. Kerrigan.
Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Councilor Irish.
Yes.
Councilor Dumas.
Yes.
Councilor Oram.
Yes.
Councilor Navin.
Yes.
Councilor Doucette is absent. Councilor Pearlman.
Yes.
Councilor Roby.
Yes.
Councilor Wagner.
Yes.
Councilor Ossing.
Yes.
And Councilor Landers is absent. 9 in favor, 2 absent, sir.
The revised special permit is approved, 9 in favor, none opposed, 2 not present. Agenda item 17.
Order number 22-100, 8678, proposed salary ordinance pursuant to Chapter 125 Personnel, Section 6, Salary Schedule, to create a new position entitled Substance Use Prevention Coordinator and Intervention Specialist within the Health Department, with a 7-step salary table, minimum of $58,000 to a maximum of $65,317.42 for a 35-hour work week, together with a proposed job description pursuant to Chapter 125 Personnel, Section 5, preparation of classification descriptions. The recommendation of the Finance Committee is to approve as amended. This matter was referred to the solicitor to be placed in proper legal form.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to advertise, please.
Motion's made and seconded to advertise this item, so it'll lay on the table. Once advertised, we'll be able to vote on it at our next meeting. All those in favor of the motion to advertise? Opposed? The advertise is approved, 9-0, and again, that'll stay in the City Council for a vote at our next meeting. Councilor Navin.
Thank you, Mr. President. A couple of public service announcements. Tomorrow is Election Day. I'd like to take this opportunity to remind everybody out there to go and vote. The city clerk has let us know that 5%, just north of 5% of the city's registered voters have voted during the early voting period. So this message is for the 95% of those who remain. Polls will be open tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. If you have any questions about your polling location, you find information at the city clerk's website, as well as wheredoivotema.com. Further, this Friday is Veterans Day, and the Marlborough Veterans Council and the City of Marlborough will be observing this important day in the traditional fashion with a Veterans Day parade, which will kick off from the American Legion at 10 a.m., followed by a brief speaking program at the Doughboy Memorial in front of the Walker Building. So we encourage everybody who is able to come out and take this opportunity to recognize all our veterans. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Navin. Councilor Dumas.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor? Opposed? We are adjourned at 8:29. Okay. Oh, you got it fixed? 8:28. Excellent. We are adjourned. Thank you.